the 49ers reached out to the Vikings during the draft or before the draft and tried to see if they could trade for Justin Jefferson. What do you make of this report, Jesse?
It's interesting that the 49ers were in on it. I mean, they clearly have money to pay a number one wide receiver. If you're in on Justin Jefferson, the money is there. And that's what makes this Brandon Ayuk situation even more interesting, because do you not think he's worth it? Like, you've paid everybody around him. You've brought in other pass catchers at the tight end position, 2 wide receivers, and now you're sniffing around with the Justin Jefferson thing. I think it would have been a hell of a get. Obviously, Brandon Ayuk wouldn't have been a part of this team. Maybe he was a part of that trade as a possibility or something they were willing to look into. Justin Jefferson's a hell of a player. Happy for him and what he got paid, but I'm also happy that the 49ers aren't paying him the type of money that he ended up getting. I think that's the right move.
I feel like let's simulate a scene that I think happened. I'm 87% sure this scene happened. Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch are chilling in Lynch's office. Let's play Lynch's office, and they're putting. Just taking turns putting, and they're talking. Hey, did you see what Brandon Ayuk's agent, the latest thing he wants? Did you see this? Yeah, he wants
30 million.
He wants $31 million, whatever it is. He wants 30. He's non-negotiable. 30 at minimum. Kyle Shanahan says, "Who does he think he is? Justin Jefferson?" And John Lynch says, "Yeah, I know. I mean, as long as we're going to give him Justin Jefferson money, why don't we just go get Justin Jefferson?" And Kyle's like, "That's a great idea. Why don't we call him right now?" Lynch is like, "Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it." And then he calls him. And he's like, "Yeah, this is the Vikings GM. Okay, we will trade you Brandon Ayuk, who thinks he's almost as good as Justin Jefferson, and a mid-round pick for Justin Jefferson." Hello? They didn't go for it. Oh, but hey, good shot. You got to give it a shot, man. Is that not what happened, essentially?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like the 49ers, the Jets, and the Colts all made calls. I'm sure that it wasn't a call that lasted very long. I'm sure they would have wanted multiple first-round picks, and that's it. It reminds me of the Tom Brady situation where he called on Jimmy Garoppolo, and they're like, we're not willing to trade Jimmy. He's like, well, how about Tom? They're like, yeah, that's funny. All right. Anyways, moving on. So, the 49ers are never afraid to ask. You got to give them credit for that, but I don't think there was ever any legs on this whole thing.
I just think it's funny. I feel like in Brandon Ayuk's mind, there isn't that big of a difference between him and Justin Jefferson. I think that's how much he's gassed up on himself right now, which is great. Professional athletes, particularly professional football players, need to have supreme confidence. It's not like they need to be like Ayuk needs to be sitting back being like, you know what? I'm overrated. I don't know what people see in me. I'm like a good number 2 option on a run first team because I get a lot of one-on-one matchups. Like that's not his job to think that way. His job is to think, man, if I was in the Vikings and I got those targets in that position, I would put up the same numbers. But I don't think the rest of the league looks at it that way.
Well, he was number 15 overall in double team rate. I was on with stats earlier. He brought that one to me. There was a chart. So I thought that was interesting. I didn't think he was double teamed that much. And if he's not on the team, who gets double teamed? Like who does that free up? So
Pearsall.
So Pearsall starts getting double teamed. I don't know. Great. Welcome to the league, Rook.